No, you don't need the.
I'm doing this my way.
He a legend, he a legend, he a legend. He a legend, he a legend, he a legend.
Fucking on it though, then
He
you
a
can't work
legend.
it up later.
Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league of items. Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league of items.
What's up, everybody? It's Pikel, back with another Mythic item breakdown video. Exciting stuff. I love the new items. I know it's quite nerdy, but some people like that. Anyways, let's take a look at what we have going on here. So I do need to make a few updates in this while I guess I'm going through this, because they have changed cooldown reduction to ability haste, and that is one issue that I'm probably going to run into in the short term, is that I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be equal to the same amount as it was before. So right now we're taking a leap of faith that it's going to be about the same. Sunborn, where you at? Yeah, I didn't spell it right. Not Stridebreaker, Sunfire. Okay, we're all good. All right, so we have 3 items to look at. First up, Berserker Suit. 350 health, 15 ability haste, which is CDR, 25 armor, 50 magic resistance, and the active is Pursuit. So it's similar to what we have right now with Righteous Glory, I'm assuming. Grants 75% move speed when moving towards enemies or enemy turrets for 4 seconds. Once near an enemy, a shockwave is emitted, slowing nearby enemy champion move speed by 40% for 2 seconds. Also does Immolate. So all of these items give Immolate. And then the Mythic passive, which is something that's new in the game with the introduction of Mythic items. 5% tenacity and slow resist to all other legendary items. And like I said in my last video, I'm only really focused on the first 2 spots, because that's what really helps it become part of a core build that scales well into the late game. So like, I don't know if this is going to invalidate Mercury Treads for a lot of players, but if you're a tank champion that needs to be mobile, maybe you can justify going like Ninja Tabby now and just go Berserker Suit. So it's something to keep in the back of your mind when you're playing tank champions moving forward. Next up, I guess I put the wrong ones in there. All right, we're off the rails right now. Let's fix this real quick. So we want Berserker Suit. We want Frostfire. And we want Sunborn. We want Sunfire because I spelled it wrong in the sheet. All right, there we go. So right now, we're going to read the 3 items, and then we're going to look at the base efficiency and stuff like that. So Frostfire Gauntlet, 350 health, which is the same, 15 ability haste, 50 armor, 25 magic resist. So they flipped the armor and MR values, so keep that in mind depending on the damage profile of the enemy team. Immolate, deal 20 damage to nearby enemies, so the exact same as the last Immolate. And then we have Frostfire. Attacks create a frozen field that slows enemies by 32%. So it's like Iceborne Gauntlet, but now it's fire. Grants all other legendary items 100 health and 7.5% champion size. So 100 health is easy to quantify. It's 2.6 repeating. So when you have one other legendary item, you get 266 additional gold value. And then the next one is another 200. It's 533, and then so on and so forth. So it does scale. It's not like a hyper scaling item. The champion size is interesting because like I think we have a tough time understanding the actual gold value of it, but situationally it's pretty strong. If the other team has skill shot champions and you need to block something for one of your carries, if you're 15% bigger, it'll be a little easier. Well, 15% easier. And then last up, we have Sunborne Aegis. 450 health, so more health than the other 2 items. 15 ability haste, which is the same. 30 armor, 30 magic resistance. So a little bit more balanced in terms of the stats that you're getting. But you get more damage. So this is also named Immolate, but it's slightly different. So not only does it give you the 20 damage, it also gives you a stacking damage portion. So damaging enemy champions or epic monsters with this effect adds a stack, increasing subsequent immolate damage by 12% for 5 seconds. Max stacks at 6. So we can get up to 72%, or 72% additional damage. Radiance at maximum immolate stacks. Your attacks explode around you, burning nearby enemies for your immolate damage for 3 seconds. So this is going to be the most popular item out of these three, I would assume, because people like Sunfire Cape. People like immolate damage for pushing waves. People like auto attacks that make people explode. And the additional ability haste is nice to have. So this is a perfect example of the difference between a majority of people and people who are looking at like stats and gold efficiency. So personally, as somebody who puts a lot of emphasis on gold efficiency, this cooldown reduction or ability haste now versus HP, like obviously you're getting more gold value out of the HP. So that's something that I'm a big fan of. However, if you ask most players, like, cooldown reduction just feels good, and I'm not saying it doesn't feel good. I think that it certainly does. But once we get to the point where we can't quantify something, it's not that we can't quantify it. It's difficult to understand if we are undervaluing cooldown reduction. Most people would probably say that it's undervalued in regards to gold efficiency. Like, the way that you measure it is based off of the lowest cost item that gives you that kind of stat, and I feel like that would be a big divide between most people in terms of whether or not that's fair. But all three of these items, you have to spend 3,200 gold, and you're getting about 90% value returned immediately. So this is pretty intuitive, I think. The Berserker Suit and Frostfire Gauntlet are both at 90%, and I think that makes sense because most people are just going to be attracted to Sunfire Aegis anyways because of the ramping damage and the CDR. So if you're a tank and you want to build Sunborne Aegis and then go immediately into another item without having to worry about more CDR, it'll be easier for you to reach the CDR cap without having to spend more than one slot on it, which is valuable for sure. So I think that all three of these items are going to see play. It's going to take some time to understand when Frostfire Gauntlet is better than Sunborne. The easy answer is, like, if the other team has 3 auto attack or 3 physical damage dealers, then Frostfire Gauntlet's probably going to be better because it's giving you more armor. Maybe on tank champions like Malphite, it's automatically better because you get the additional armor value. But there'll be a lot of testing that's involved. Berserker Suit, again, this Berserker Suit's probably going to see more play on like junglers and stuff like that, but since it has 50 MR and only 25 armor, you have to make sure that you're not wasting a lot of that gold on MR when it's unnecessary. But that's basically it. So these are the 3 new tank mythic items. If I had to guess which one would be the most popular, it's going to be Sunborne. But I think all 3 are pretty good, and there will be situational... there will be chances to build them situationally. So that's all I've got for you in this video. If you enjoy learning about items, this is the place to be. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.